Hi. In this video titled Christianity Permits Divorce and Remarriage, I want to explain from the ESV Study Bible, using the ESV Study Bible notes, why it is that Christianity permits divorce and remarriage and how that works. Because I know that people sometimes have questions about this. They see, verses in the Bible that talk about marriage and divorce, and it can be confusing. And the ESV Study Bible has the finest study Bible notes I have ever seen in the world anywhere. And so I want to read you their note on Matthew chapter 19, verse 9. And I think that you'll find it very helpful, very instructive. So let's jump right in. Okay, Jesus is speaking, and he says, "And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery." So this raises all kinds of questions, and the ESV study note is spectacular on this. Now, the note is actually quite lengthy. Let me see if I can show it to you here. Yeah, that kind of gets the page, but it doesn't really show you. It starts right here, and it ends right here. So it's pretty lengthy. And I'm going to skip the beginning part of the note because it goes into a lot of technical details about what Greek words mean and things like that. But I'm going to get to the heart of the note, which is towards the end, and here it is. It quotes Jesus and says, "And marries another, commits adultery." Number one, if a divorce is obtained for any reason other than, except for, sexual immorality, then the second marriage begins with adultery. Jesus is prohibiting divorce for the many trivial reasons that were used so frequently in the first century, leading to widespread injustice, especially for women whose husbands suddenly divorced them. Number two, "and marries another," implies that the second marriage, though it begins with adultery, is still a marriage. Once a second marriage has occurred, it would be further sin to break it up. The second marriage should not be thought of as continually living in adultery, for the man and woman are now married to each other, not to anyone else. If the exception sexual immorality occurs, then the implication is that remarriage to another does not constitute adultery and is therefore permissible. Number four, divorce, it must be remembered, is permitted but not required in the case of sexual immorality, since God's intention is that marriage should be for life. This provides good reason to make every reasonable effort to achieve restoration and forgiveness in marriage before taking steps to dissolve a marriage through divorce. This makes Jesus' teaching fundamentally different from all of first century Judaism, which required divorce in the case of adultery. On the question of divorce and desertion, see 1 Corinthians 7:15 and note. So, we have Jesus explaining and the ESV Study Bible helping us out with this, that divorce is permissible. If you divorce someone and remarry them, it should not be thought of as continually living in adultery, because you're not married to that other person anymore. You have a real marriage with someone new, and as the study note says, it would be further sin to break it up. So what you should do is do your best to make your new marriage as good as possible. So, to recap, Christianity permits divorce and remarriage, though every effort should be made to save a marriage before resorting to divorce. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this clears up any questions you might have had about that issue. And again, I highly recommend the ESV Study Bible. I'll put the link to this ESV Study Bible in the video description so that you can buy this fine study Bible if you're interested in learning more about this issue and getting good, helpful notes that help on a wide variety of issues. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.